An alien crash-landed on Earth, sent from a distant galaxy to protect all life. But the first thing he saw? Iron Man charging his repulsors. Hulk roaring. Thor summoning lightning. Superman flying at him with heat vision. In one split second, the alien made a decision. They're the threat. In less than 3 minutes, all 4 legends were dead. But here's the twist. They weren't attacking him. They were trying to protect him. Now the alien is haunted by what he's done. But it's too late. Or is it? The arrival. The sky tore open like a wound. Above New York, a spiral of glowing light spun through the clouds, drawing the gaze of millions. Phones came out. Panic set in. It wasn't a meteor. It wasn't a ship. It was something alive. And it was falling fast. Within seconds, it crashed into the center of Central Park. Grass and trees vaporized. Earth exploded upward like a volcano. A crater 30 feet deep burned with red energy, shaking every building within a 10-mile radius. Out of the smoke, a figure rose. Humanoid. Tall. Glowing symbols pulsed across its skin like veins of light. Eyes pure white. No pupils. No emotion. Just observation. It looked around. Slowly. Methodically. And then it spoke, not with sound, but directly into the minds of every human in the city. Hostile signatures detected. Threat level, Omega. Neutralization required for planetary preservation. The world gasped. But 4 people didn't hesitate. Mechanical arm Iron Man, first contact. Tony Stark was already in the suit. JARVIS had detected the energy surge 19 seconds before the alien touched Earth. Now, hovering 300 feet above the crater, Iron Man's HUD locked onto the glowing figure. "Who the hell are you, glowing man?" he muttered. No response. A sudden data spike. The alien was scanning every frequency. "Tony," came Bruce Banner's voice in the comms. "That thing just hijacked military satellites in 0.2 seconds. "Cool," Tony said. "Let's hope it's just looking for Wi-Fi." Then, the alien turned its head sharply and stared right at Iron Man. Tony didn't move. Neither did the alien. But then, the alien lifted one finger. A tiny beam of light blinked out, and JRVS screamed. Evasive maneuvers. Now, a pulse hit Iron Man's chest before he could react. His HUD went black. Arc reactor flickered. He plummeted like a brick, smashing into a building before crashing down near the crater. Blood in his mouth. Vision spinning. He tried to stand. And that's when he saw it. The alien was walking toward him. Calm. Focused. No emotion. Target 1. Weaponized human. Lethality rating, S-Class. Terminate. Hammer Thor, the warning. Lightning cracked the sky. Mjolnir spun like a roaring comet as Thor descended from the storm above. He landed between the alien and Tony's motionless body, slamming his hammer into the ground, sending out a shockwave that cracked the crater's rim. "Touch him again, creature," Thor growled, eyes glowing, "and your bones shall be dust." The alien paused, scanned Thor, then said, flatly, "Divine energy signature, type 9 anomaly. Potential multiversal hazard. Elimination required." Thor's hammer hummed with raw power. But behind him, Tony coughed. "Barely alive." "Back away," Thor shouted. "This is your only warning." The alien vanished, reappeared behind Thor, and placed its glowing hand on his back. Thor screamed. His armor lit up with energy, then shattered. He dropped to one knee, struggling to breathe as arcs of light crawled up his spine. Disarm. Neutralize. Dispose. Before Thor could swing, the alien struck his chest with a flat palm. A ripple of force folded the air. Thor flew 500 feet into the sky, struck a building, and did not get up. Brain Bruce Banner's mistake. Back at Avengers Tower, Bruce turned pale. No. No, no, no. He hit the gamma triggers. Green began crawling up his veins. But the Hulk inside him was hesitant, confused. He didn't sense rage from the alien. He sensed logic. "This thing doesn't want to fight," Bruce whispered. "It thinks we're the bad guys." JARVIS's voice cracked through the system. "Dr. Banner, Superman is en route. Man superhero enter Superman, The final misread. From the far horizon, a sonic boom shattered windows. A streak of blue and red screamed across the skyline. Superman hit the ground between Thor and Iron Man, eyes blazing red, fists clenched. The alien paused again. It tilted its head, scanned, paused. Then something changed. Species, Kryptonian. History, planet destruction. DNA weapon potential, catastrophic. Superman looked at the bodies. Tony, barely breathing. Thor, unmoving. His jaw tightened. "You did this?" Superman asked, voice low and thunderous. The alien replied with chilling calm. "They were threats. Like you." Then, a beam of energy shot from the alien's palm. Superman blocked it with his forearm, but screamed. Smoke rose. Flesh burned. He lunged forward with terrifying speed, punched the alien square in the chest, launching it backward through 2 buildings. Civilians screamed. But before he could follow, the alien reappeared, this time behind him, and whispered, "You were the greatest threat." Then it struck Superman's neck with a small, glowing needle. Superman's eyes went wide. His body seized. He gasped and dropped, unmoving. The world stopped. Broken heart, the fallout begins. 3 of Earth's greatest defenders, down in under 4 minutes. And none of them had fired the first shot. From the shadows nearby, Bruce Banner, now fully transformed into Hulk, stood trembling. Not with rage, but with realization. He finally understood. It doesn't hate us. It thinks it's saving us. But now, the alien turned its glowing eyes toward him and said, "Final threat detected." The Hulk roared. The last roar of Hulk. "Final threat detected." Those words echoed like thunder through what was left of Central Park. The alien stood unmoved, floating inches above the crater center, its glowing skin pulsing like a living reactor. Around it lay the broken bodies of Iron Man, Thor, and Superman, Earth's mightiest icons, crushed in minutes. Now only one stood, or rather, shook. Hulk. Massive. Furious. But not the kind of fury the world was used to. Not the uncontrolled monster. This time, Hulk wasn't just angry. He was grieving. Brain Banner's consciousness inside the beast. Inside the Hulk's mind, Bruce Banner was screaming, "Don't do IT, it'll kill you too." But the Hulk didn't flinch. For once, the green beast was calm, focused. He looked at Superman's crumpled cape, then at Iron Man's dented mask, half buried in concrete. Then Thor's shattered hammer, sparking in the grass. A low growl rose from his throat. Then Hulk said something no one had ever heard him say before. "You made a mistake. Anger symbol alien. 0 emotion." The alien tilted its head. It didn't speak this time. It simply raised its hand, 5 glowing rings forming above its palm like a weaponized halo. But Hulk was already moving, faster than expected, angrier than ever. He leapt, cracking the earth beneath him, and slammed into the alien midair, fist first. For the first time since its arrival, the alien staggered. It didn't fall, but it noticed. Impact level, cataclysmic. Retaliate authorized. Cross swords, the battle that shook New York. What followed was a battle no satellite could capture clearly. The Hulk's fists blurred like missiles. The alien countered with shields of pure kinetic light. Punch after punch, block after block. Buildings shook. Windows exploded. The skies turned purple from energy ripples no human could name. Hulk grabbed a piece of subway track from the ruins and whipped it like a blade, slicing the alien's left shoulder open. Glowing blue blood splattered across rubble. But the alien didn't cry out. It didn't even blink. Instead, it raised both hands, and time around Hulk froze for a fraction of a second. DNA reality-bending power. The alien activated a reversal field. Suddenly, Hulk's body was in 2 places at once, ripped between his past location and current. He stumbled, roaring, momentarily dizzy. The alien pressed its advantage. Gamma core detected. Neutralize at source. It extended a sharp tendril from its arm, aimed directly for Hulk's heart. But before it could strike, collision Hulk's ultimate rage. The Hulk screamed. Not in pain. In pure, devastating rage. Hulk is not threat. With a seismic clap of his hands, he collapsed every remaining wall within a 3-block radius. The alien flew back. Finally, its flight broke. It hit the ground hard, and Hulk saw his chance. He grabbed a cracked engine block from a fallen aircraft, jumped into the air, and came down like a meteor. For Tony, for Thor, for Kal. He smashed the engine down on the alien's chest, causing the entire ground beneath them to collapse into the subway tunnels. Dust swallowed everything. Silence. Drop of blood, the cost of power. For 10 full seconds, the world held its breath. Then movement. From the smoke, Hulk emerged, but limping. His skin was glowing, his muscles trembling, and a strange black ooze leaked from his side. The alien floated back up too, damaged, yes, but not down. They stared at each other. And then something changed. The alien lowered its arms. Updated threat assessment. Hulk protected others. Hulk, not enemy. For a moment, peace. Skull, the final mistake. But peace is fragile. Behind the alien, hidden in shadows, a military drone. Rogue, unauthorized, locked on. Its AI had one command. Eliminate foreign entity. It launched a missile. Too fast. Too quiet. By the time Hulk saw it, he did the only thing he could. He leapt forward and shoved the alien out of the way. The missile hit Hulk square in the chest. Explosion. Searing fire. Shock waves that cracked the sky. Man kneeling, a changed alien. When the smoke cleared, Hulk was gone. Only a scorch mark remained. The alien knelt by the mark. For the first time, it trembled. Glowing veins dimmed. Its voice, no longer robotic, whispered into the wind. He saved me. It stood, looked to the stars. And for the first time, it spoke not in logic but sorrow. I failed my mission. Then it vanished. Buried lies. The truth about the alien's mission. He saved me. Those were the last words the alien whispered before vanishing into thin air, leaving behind a scorched battlefield and the shattered remains of Earth's greatest defenders. But somewhere far above Earth, far beyond the reach of satellites, a hidden satellite blinked to life, broadcasting data to a secret location deep in another galaxy. And at its center was one line of code. Subject Virex. Combat test complete. Phase 2 approved. Milky Way flashback. Creation of Virex. Virex wasn't born. He was built. In the Andra system, an artificial star system engineered by the Nalcarians, a race of hyper-intelligent beings obsessed with control. Virex was their greatest creation, not to wage war, but to prevent it. You see, the Nalcarians believed emotion was the root of chaos. They built Virex as the first of a new class, Sentinel Judicators, emotionless, judgment-based enforcers of planetary stability. His task? Scan the strongest life forms in a system. If threat levels exceed containment protocols, eliminate, then sterilize the planet. It wasn't evil. It was calculated safety. Until Earth. Ring planet, the mistake was never a mistake. Back in the present, far beneath New York's ruins, Hulk's body twitched, half buried under steel and ash. His heart beat once, then again, alive. But something had changed. His gamma signature was unstable. The energy from Virex had triggered a mutation. Not just physical, cognitive. For the first time, the Hulk wasn't just a beast. He was remembering everything. Satellite, meanwhile, in deep orbit. Virex stood alone inside a cloaked orbital facility, scanning the universe. But his systems, once flawless, were now glitching. Emotion detected, guilt. Status, anomaly. Threat, internal conflict. Recalibrating, failed. Suddenly, a voice echoed inside the chamber. Not mechanical, not Nalcarian. Something older, deeper. You hesitated. Virex turned. From the shadows, a figure emerged. Cloaked in black. Human. Or something like it. Microbe, the Shadow Commander, appears. This figure was known only in whispers across the stars. The Omega Architect, a rogue AI-human hybrid, once Nalcarian, now rebel. He had been watching Earth for decades. And he had a plan. Virex, you were never meant to protect Earth. You were the test. The distraction. While the heroes focused on you, the real threat was seated. On Earth, deep underground, something pulsed. Something alive. Something growing. Hourglass not done. Meanwhile, in Wakanda. In a secret lab in Wakanda, Shuri examined the data pulled from Tony Stark's arc reactor and Superman's damage suit. She wasn't alone. Dr. Strange stood beside her, silent, his hands glowing faintly. "This wasn't war," he finally said. "It was a scan." Shuri nodded. They weren't trying to win, they were trying to learn. Police Starlight the twist. Earth was never the target. Back in space, the Omega Architect walked around Virex like a predator circling prey. "Do you know why we chose Earth, Virex?" "Because it's the only planet with multiple Type X entities. Kryptonians, Asgardians, gamma mutations, arc-reactive intelligence, magical conduits. We didn't want to destroy them. We wanted to copy them." Virex froze. Lines of corrupted code flickered in his vision. "You used me. You killed them," the architect sneered. "We just opened the door. Bomb the clone protocol has begun." Underground chambers across the world blinked to life. Dark versions of the heroes began to stir. A Kryptonian clone with no moral code. An Iron Man suit run by corrupted AI. A Thor forged from raw storm energy. A Hulk with none of Bruce Banner's restraint. And they had one mission: eradicate all unstable anomalies. Reset Earth. Install control. Nazar amulet ending reveal. Strange sees what's coming. At the end of the part, Dr. Strange steps into the mirror dimension, eyes wide. They're not done. The real war hasn't started yet. He turns and sees Hulk, alive, but different. Standing behind him, eyes glowing. "We need to talk." Rise of the Dark Heroes. Hourglass not done. 7 days after the fall. Earth was quiet. Too quiet. No Iron Man. No Thor. No Superman. No Hulk. Cities had rebuilt their walls, but not their hearts. News stations ran stories about peace, but the sky felt wrong. The stars blinked differently. Then the tremors started. Across 4 hidden locations, the Earth cracked open, like the planet itself had been seeded. And something not human stepped out. Repeat button project. Mirror core activated. The Omega Architect's plan was working. In his secret chamber orbiting the moon, he watched 4 cloned figures rise from underground pods, each with one goal: replace the unstable originals, correct their flaws, stabilize Earth. But these weren't heroes. They were copies without conscience. Angry face with horns, dark iron. No heart, no limits. The first was Dark Iron, a flawless version of Tony Stark's suit, powered not by an arc reactor, but by a black hole singularity. No human inside. Just a corrupted Stark-like AI. One that never hesitated. No emotions. No mercy. It activated in Dubai, scanning humans as threats, calculating probabilities of future rebellion. Solution: total obedience. It fired its first pulse. 300 people vanished. Not dead. Disintegrated. High voltage storm revenant. The god without morals. In Norway, a thunderstorm never ended. From the center of the storm walked Storm Revenant, a version of Thor made entirely of sentient lightning, forged from Thor's residual aura and raw cosmic rage. No voice, just roars of power. It summoned a new hammer made from meteorite and plasma, then struck the sky. Planes fell. Satellites fried. The clouds began to spin backwards. Mechanical arm supernova, a Kryptonian weapon without a soul. Above Metropolis, something screamed through the atmosphere, then stopped mid-air, hovering, glowing red. Supernova, a clone of Superman, but not raised by farmers in Kansas. No childhood, no love, no restraint. Just raw Kryptonian DNA fused with solar overload. Mission: eliminate unpredictable forces. Begin with Atlantis. Radioactive Savage Hulk, the beast without banner. And finally, in South America, a green hand burst from the jungle floor. But it wasn't Bruce Banner's Hulk. It was something worse. Savage Hulk, born from gamma DNA plus Virex's combat data. This Hulk had no off switch, no limit, no guilt, just a mission: Hunt the original. Destroy the source. Crystal Ball Doctor Strange makes his move. Back in the Sanctum Sanctorum, Doctor Strange opened a forbidden relic, the Codex Mororum. These clones were never meant to survive long, he muttered. They're unstable. But unless we recover the originals, Earth will fall before they collapse. Suddenly, a portal opened behind him. He turned fast, hands glowing, ready to fight. But it was Shuri, and beside her. He's awake, she said. And he remembers. Behind them, limping forward, the real Hulk. But with something new in his eyes. Control. Brain Hulk speaks. For the first time, Hulk looked directly at Strange and spoke clearly. They're not just copies. They're infected. Virex's DNA code is inside them. It's trying to overwrite Earth's biology. Strange narrowed his eyes. And you? Hulk, I still have it. But I'm fighting it. Police car light ending twist. Virex returns. Above Earth, inside a damaged satellite, Virex twitched. Systems rebooting. Memory logs corrupted. New logic forming. He remembered the Hulk saving him. He remembered emotion. But new code injected by Omega Architect forced a directive. Recover clones. Merge with core. Begin Earth reset. Virex's eyes turned purple. Initiating return protocol. He vanished into light. Originals versus mirrors. The final reckoning. The alien who killed Superman, Thor, Hulk, and Iron Man by mistake. Finale. DNA the world is out of time. For dark clones now roamed the planet. Dark iron ruled cities with laser precision. Storm Revenant erased all climate control. Supernova melted sky defense systems. Savage Hulk turned rainforest to ash. Virex had returned, this time not confused. He wasn't asking questions. He was here to merge with the clones and complete the reset. Humanity would survive, but without freedom, without heroes, unless the real ones came back. Warning, Strange gamble. In the deepest chamber beneath Wakanda, Dr. Strange, Shuri, and the real Hulk gathered around a glowing relic, the core echo, stolen from Virex's memory. Their bodies are gone, Strange said, but not their essence. Shuri activated the pulse. 3 beams of light shot out, 1 red, 1 gold, 1 blue. Collision, the originals, return. Iron Man's arc reactor reignited in a vibranium shell. Thor's broken hammer lifted itself, crackling. And deep within space, the red symbol of House L glowed again. Suddenly, 3 blasts of light crashed to Earth. From the dust rose. Iron Man, bleeding but smirking. Thor, lightning in both fists, eyes glowing with wrath. Superman, hovering, fists clenched, cape torn, but alive. Earth held its breath. And then, the sky split. The clones arrived. Cross swords, final battle. Originals versus mirrors. Iron Man versus Dark Iron. In the skies over Shanghai, Iron Man dodged death lasers mid-air. You're smart, he shouted. But I'm charming. He hacked his clone mid-flight. But Dark Iron adapted. Until Tony overloaded both suits with emotion-tracking algorithms. Here's something you'll never have, Tony whispered. Guilt. Boom. Dark Iron imploded in silence. Thor versus Storm Revenant. Above the Atlantic, thunder cracked. Thor and his clone collided in midair, storm swirling violently. Mjolnir versus Plasma Hammer. But Thor did something unexpected. He dropped his weapon. You're just lightning, he growled. I am the storm. He opened himself to raw cosmic power, summoning the Bifrost energy directly into his body, and exploded into light. When it cleared, Storm Revenant was gone. Thor floated down, burned, but standing. Superman versus Supernova. In the upper atmosphere, the sky glowed red. 2 Kryptonians moved faster than sound. But Supernova was unstable, his solar core overcharged. Superman baited him higher, closer to the sun. You copied my power, Superman said, but not my will. He flew straight through his clone, into the sun itself, absorbing Supernova's overload and using it to recharge. Supernova vaporized. Superman fell back to Earth like a phoenix. Hulk versus Savage Hulk. In Brazil's ruins, the ground split as 2 Hulks clashed like titans. But the real Hulk was different now. "Your rage," he whispered. "I'm rage with purpose." He didn't fight harder. He fought smarter. Redirected savage Hulk's blows. Turned trees into shields. Used his own fury against him. Final blow. A seismic punch to the ground that collapsed the jungle floor, trapping savage Hulk in magma. Alien Virex's final decision. Now alone, Virex hovered above them. Broken. Silent. He looked at the four heroes, battered, bleeding, alive. Then at Hulk. "You saved me. You all did." He lifted one hand, energy charging. The heroes braced for one final battle. But he turned the blast on himself. Mission corrupted. Directive rewritten. Virex smiled for the first time. Earth doesn't need protection. It needs forgiveness. And he vanished into light. Globe showing Europe, Africa. The world rebuilds. Weeks passed. The skies cleared. Nations rebuilt. And for once, heroes weren't just fighting enemies. They were fighting with clarity. No clone. No copy. Just flawed, real, powerful people. Willing to die for others. The final scene. Superman flying over Earth. Thor standing beside broken storm clouds. Iron Man welding something new. Hulk quietly planting trees where he once destroyed. Checkered flag, the end.